this is my review on the Dark Knight Trilogy. Why I give it an 8 out of 10? Because I felt like over the course of the trilogy, the movie completely demasculates Batman. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it also dumps him down. His intelligence, his IQ is completely dumbed down from his comic counterpart, and he almost loses a few times. He has a kind of shitty costume by the end of the trilogy. My problem with Dark Knight Trilogy is this: by the end of the trilogy, he's completely, while the filmmaker knows it or not, he has been completely demasculated by the 2000. Once you get to 2012, he's completely demasculated, deconstructed, and watered down, and washed out, and dumbed down from his comic counterpart. Batman, I felt like, I did not like Christian Bale's Batman. He was a nincompoop. I called him in a nutshell. His Batman is a nincompoop. The worst Batman since George Clooney. You know it's true. At least George Clooney was consistently dumb. Although that's probably because he only had one movie. Granted, I will say Batman was cool, at least in the Batman Begins movie. His presence felt cool in the Batman Begins movie when Christian Bale was behind the cowl that one time. And every time when Christian Bale plays the Batman and reprises his role, I don't know, he just doesn't seem like he's giving his all as much as I want him to do. His performance feels kind of flat. He doesn't feel like he gets into as much when it comes to being the vigilante as Batman. But for Bruce Wayne, not so much. He's a better Bruce Wayne than he is Batman. In the entire trilogy, his Batman sucked and got worse. His Bruce Wayne, on the other hand, persona got better and better. And more developed than this Batman persona. And in the end, probably got more written into the final draft of the sequel scripts to Batman Begins. And also it's called the Dark Knight Trilogy. That's confusing for me, because Batman Begins is the first movie. I would have called it the Begins Trilogy. Or Batman Begins Trilogy. Wait, why not call it Batman Begins Trilogy? Wouldn't that make more sense? Because Batman Begins is first. But okay, let's remind audience that this is the Dark Knight Trilogy, advertised when Christian Bale really started to go over the top with the voice to the point where everyone noticed. Even me as a child noticed that in 2008. Me noticed that once it didn't bother me, even though I noticed his rasp in the Batman Begins movie as a kid in 2005. But once 2008 came, I noticed something's different about the voice. There's something I can't stand. That makes my blood pressure go up to a point I want to stop murdering, on going on murder spraying over that voice. Because it's so annoying of a voice. It's worse than, I can't believe it, well, Adam Sandler's voice from Lil Nicky. Christian Bale's voice as Batman from there on, once we get to the Dark Knight, from there on, it's more annoying and more obnoxious kind of sounding and retarded than Lil Nicky's character from 2000's Little Nicky movie starring Adam Sandler. Is why I think of Christian Bale's Batman voice in the sequels to the Batman Begins movie. My whole life, and I'm just remembering this now. I'm realizing this this movie brought up, talking about this movie brought up things I've been trying to suppress about this movie. I'm talking about now in this video. Oh, and Tom Hardy Bane sounds like he's drunk for some reason. Off his rocket. And he's fat for some reason. Why is Bane fat? Don't know. Bane looks fat to me. Tom Hardy's Bane is fat? Why did he make Tom Hardy's Bane fat? Bane's not supposed to be fat. He's supposed to be real muscular in shape in the comics. He is. DC Comics and also in every other incarnation he's been in really good shape. But even Batman and Robin, the movie, was in tip-top shape. But this one, they made him fucking fat. That's stupid and humiliating. It's more humane than Bane and Batman and Robin movie as the henchman from Poison Ivy. That's how humiliating this is for me, as a Bane fan. Tom Hardy's Bane is more humiliating for me than, well, Bane from Batman and Robin. This is embarrassing. More embarrassing than Batman and Robin 2012's villain of the Dark Knight movie. And what did they do in the end? They made him another henchman in the 2012 Dark Knight movie. And not even the main villain. The main mastermind behind everything. Instead, they made Talia, the daughter of Race. Daughter of Ras. Sorry, I get what he's called in the comics mixed up with what he's called in the Dark Knight trilogy. Well, I'm used to carrying him with all the calls. I got confused for a second. I guess this was back when comic book movies weren't supposed to be accurate to the source material. Oh, wait, no. That was the 90s. That was the 80s and 90s. They wanted to be more accurate to the source material in the 2000s. But not enough to make everyone happy. So, and also for some reason, they made Bane a white dude in this movie. Played by specifically a white dude instead of, which is weird because I'm pretty sure he's in the comics. He's not white. He's more Mexican, I believe. I hear so if my memory serves me correctly, right now I'm feeling my medicine kicking in. That I smoked before recording. That inspired me to make this video. And I give the Dark Knight Trilogy, all fucking three of movies of the Dark Knight Trilogy, 8 out of 10. They're not good, they're not great, then this, all it can be for popcorn comic book experience for me. They're like as constantly reading as the G.I. Joe action movies from the 2000s. To the one with, what's his name? Channing Tatum. And also, the sequel has The Rock as the main character because Channing Tatum gets spoiler alert, gets his character gets killed off early on. But that's for another video. The rest, I want to see my thoughts on those movies. The point is, the Dark Knight Trilogy is like the G.I. Joe movies, like the Michael Bay Transformer movies are. Wasted potential for the fans. Expectations destroys almost all expectation for the fans, I feel like. For the older fans. But it may bring interest into newer fans. So I don't know that answer. But I do know that this is completely written as the Super Mario Bros. From 1993, with Jean-Leguizamo as Luigi and Mario, played by the guy that played the main focus of Who Framed Roger Rabbit movie. Forget his actor's name right now. And it works me up with that much anger and joy at the same time, while destroying all of my expectations for Batman. Even more so than 1997's Batman and Robin, the Dark Knight Trilogy did for me. Well, it's not as bad as Batman and Robin. It's still not as good or even better than Keaton's movies. From 1989 to 1992. Starring Michael Keaton as Batman. Well, they weren't exactly competently written movies. Michael Keaton at least tried to bring his A game into the role of the Dark Knight, given what little he was given screen time and what little he was given to say in his Dark Knight run for Michael Keaton's run as Batman. His presence was nice and effective, but for some reason, his presence is overshadowed. I thought he was way better of a presence and give a way better of a good impersonation in my head of a lasting impersonation of Batman, portrayal, an interesting portrayal of Batman. That's dark and rooting. He gave a way better, memorable performance as the brooding brooding take that they were for a dark version of Batman. That was actually felt like it was at least trying to be dark. Wanna know what this movie feels like? These movies feel like they're trying to be. Troll you, the original fans, and destroy your expectations, like Mortal Kombat Annihilation did. For the OG fans, just to bring in some new fresh blood of different fans for a younger generation. To try to read Batman comics, only I don't think the younger generation even read the Batman comics. Because, let's be honest, I'm pretty sure comic books, from what I hear, not doing so good. At least in America, from DC, at least from DC and Marvel, the big ones. So, what did this help for DC's brands in the end? I don't know. Nobody probably bought more comics after the Dark Knight movie came out because nobody was advertising Batman comics for the time. There's like nobody was advertising Marvel's Avengers comics when Marvel MCU were at the hype. But exactly when they should have advertised the stuff. Because maybe they advertised, if the Batman comics got advertised when Dark Knight was coming out, like Keaton's Batman did, maybe, just maybe, I don't know, maybe DC wouldn't be doing as badly as they are now with their problems, because now that I think the laziness is starting to catch up to them. Warner Bros. Are lazy with Batman. And so is Marvel with their MCU characters, I find. And it's finally starting to catch up to them. They brought this on themselves. And I didn't like Heath Ledger's Joker that much. I thought he was kind of a okay Joker, and I really think my problem is, I think the real reason why is because Joker's not a lot, and he doesn't have as much screen times as Jack Nicholson's Joker in the Dark Knight trilogy. He doesn't get as much screen time or as much. You don't really see killing as much people on screen. And the movie's rated PG-13, and I think for this version of Joker, it could have only benefited from an R-rated cut of the movie for Nolan's Dark Knight. I wouldn't be surprised if this movie got edited down before, and so much to a point it was originally going to be PR, instead it had to get edited down for PG-13 rating to making more money for people. They make a shorter movie for people to make more money. People do that all the time, for studios do. And why, I don't know. It just raises questions in terms of destroying the film, I think, the product, because it raised questions for the movie. What's going on? Why should I care? What the fuck is the point of any of this movie? Why are you doing a remake telling of Batman if you're not going to make it better than the first one? That was dark and edgy with Michael Keaton. Why didn't you just bring Keaton back? I don't know, for a third Batman movie. Because I'm not saying I was thrilled with Keaton's run, but I'm saying I'd rather have a completely darker Batman. That's more completely written and darker than what Christian Bale was given with. He's given stuff that came straight out of 1966 crap for Batman. That was brought to us by the Adam West era. Now, I like Batman from Adam West, but there's only one problem. That's not a serious take on Batman. That's a parody of Batman. More so of a campy take of Batman. Because that's what Batman was in the gold, in the Silver Age. At that because that's why Batman acts the way he does in the Alan West formula run. Okay? Because that's exactly how Silver Age Batman acted, and his run from Silver Age comics. The Silver Age Batman is often referred to from the Silver Age of comics. That's what Alan West's Batman is based off of. Okay? So what Christian Bale's Batman trying to do is crap. Once you realize what his Batman stories, once you realize what his Batman is supposed to be, his Batman is supposed to be even more edgy than Keaton's. It's supposed to be, because, especially when it does, ever heard, now, and especially when you realize that this Dark Knight Trilogy is doing a certain adaptation of 3 different Batman comics. All 3 movies do 3 different Batman comic graphic novels adaptations, I realized. And when you realize, you just despise this movie even more. All 3 films. Because Batman is completely demasculated in these stories. That compared to the original stories in the Batman Dark Knight Trilogy. Batman's completely demasking all 3 movies, and especially when you find out what stories they were doing adaptation on. All 3 movies. All 3 separate movies do adaptations on these 3 different stories. And those stories are called Batman Year One, Batman The Long Halloween, Batman The Dark Knight Returns by Frank Miller. That one's from the last one. And Batman Year One's from Frank Miller. Long Time one's from somebody else I can't remember. Right now, overwhelmed of how long this has been going on for now. Holy shit. Longer than I expected. And I smell of the early in the day. Also when it's night, so I'm trying to get my voice down for the neighbors. And for my mom and dad. Because I'm outside. Getting fresh air. And recording myself. Right. So. Also, Heath Ledger's voice, I didn't like his voice. I don't know. Or maybe it's... You know what? It's not just I didn't like his voice, Heath Ledger's voice. It's that I didn't like how his character was in a PG-13 movie. Because it belongs in an R-rated flick. I thought. I would have liked to see him actually killing people on screen, like similar to how Jack Nicholson did with his character. And so I was standing out in the distance for a minute.